Hey there, this is Steve from Web2ink. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started customizing your new e-commerce website. But first, I want to thank you for signing up for our platform and let you know that we are here for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to email or call us. So let's dive right in. Before I show you how anything works, let me tell you a little bit about our platform. Our websites are built on the WordPress platform. This means that you have a standalone website that is very customizable and very SEO friendly. Because our platform is built with WordPress, you will be able to take advantage of the most popular web content management system in the world that powers over 40% of all websites. This means that you can hire outside designers, SEO providers, and marketers to work on your site with no issues. Your Web2ink plan includes high-speed scalable hosting on Google Cloud, daily backups, maintenance, security, and all future updates. This means you'll never have to worry about your website being hacked, your users and customer security, or any other type of site-related issues. Web2ink handles all of that for you. So let's get to the point and show you how to get your new site up and running. So after you sign up for your website and log in, this is the page that you're going to land on. This is the dashboard for the admin for your entire website. So this is the back end of your website where you're going to control every aspect of your website. So let's take a quick look around the dashboard before I jump into anything too specific. When you first log in, you're going to see this welcome screen here, and this video, which is now kind of just a placeholder, will actually be the video I'm recording right now. These are going to be some shortcuts to get your site set up and get some of your initial settings going. But the main navigation and all of the features of your website are going to be down this menu on the left-hand side. We've got about 20 different tutorial videos which will go into each of these in a lot more depth, but this video is going to focus more on the first steps you're going to take to get started. So let's go ahead and start. Well, when you log in, you're going to go through these 5 sections right here. You can do them in any order, but typically if you start at the top and work your way down, that's the best way to approach it. So we'll click on this first one. It says set up your logo, colors, and branding. But before I do that, this top bar right here, whenever I'm working on a website, I like to open the website up in another window so that any changes I make, I can quickly go to the site and refresh it and check. So I have this is a demo site called Steve's Print Shop. So right here is the name of it. If you hover over it, it's going to have a link that says visit site. So I always just right click this and open it up in a new tab. This way I can go to my website and check everything out as I'm making updates. And when you're on your actual website and you're logged into the admin, you're still going to have this bar on the top, which is going to let you do a lot of the customizations. In fact, a lot of people like to just work on the front end of their website and go from page to page and make edits. But let's jump back into the admin and start with this first button here. Set up your logos, colors, and branding. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and this first page that it's going to take you to is going to be a section where you're going to upload your logo. I already have one uploaded here. I'm just going to remove it for now. Let me actually click update and just show you exactly what's happened. So we have this logo right here. Since I just removed it, I can just come here and click update. This is kind of the goofy default logo that comes on the template. So you're going to type in your business name here, Steve's Print Shop. Your contact name, that's optional. You don't have to put that in there. Right here, you're going to upload your logo, which I believe I should already have in my media library. I do, but let me go ahead and upload it just to show you. So you have 3 sections here. This is where you can upload files. Your media library is basically a holding tank for all of the images and videos that are on your website. So being that this website is a template, there's a lot of kind of placeholder images in there already. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to upload a file, and we'll say I want to upload fake logo. Okay, so that's uploaded. And then right here, this is going to be the width that your logo displays is displayed at. This width is in pixels. So I like usually between 150 and 250 for the width of my logo. I'm just going to leave it at 204 and click on Update. And then we'll go to the front end of the website and do a refresh so that we can check our changes. So you can see my logo has shown up. 200 pixels is about the size that I like, so that looks good. And then we're going to come back to that same page, and we're just going to go through these 3 tabs and fill everything out. Right here you'll put in your address and phone number. You know, fill everything out as best as you can. If you don't want your cell phone number to be displayed anywhere on your website, then just leave that blank. And then go ahead and do the same thing with your social media accounts. So once you do that, you'll be done with the business details section. Then you can move over to typography. This is going to determine what type of fonts display on your website. So you've got a font family, and you can choose the default weight and the default size. So the weight is like the thickness of the letters, like bold or standard, but you can choose it numerically. The font size is going to be your default font size. And then over here, you can choose specific fonts for specific headings and specific types of text on your website. Being that when you sign up, your website or the website is completely built for you, a lot of the times the default fonts and sizes and settings are going to be just fine. So once you get this to where you like, you can move on and go to colors. You've got theme color, text color, your page background color, your link color, and your link hover color. So if your company has a certain color scheme, you're going to want to customize this to match either your logo or your business's branding. Once you've got that set, you can just go to buttons, and you can choose your default button colors. So you have the text that's within the button and the background color of the button. Then over here, when you hover over the button, this will be the text color and this will be the background color. This stuff here is something you should try out. Go to the front end of the website and refresh and just kind of play with it until you get it to look the way you want. So I don't really want to have hot pink buttons, so I think I'm going to choose kind of a dark green. And for my hover color, I'm going to choose, let's just say kind of a, we'll go with more of like a gold. Okay, and then I can go ahead and click on Update. And we'll go and take a look at the front end of the website. So you can see these buttons now before were set to be pink with a hover color of pink. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. Now you can see we've got a button color of green with a hover color of gold. So let's jump back to the admin right quick. and we will go back to our dashboard. So anytime that you're in your admin, if you need to get back to the dashboard, you can just click on dashboard. That will fly out some other options, and you just click on home. So now that we have that part set, we're going to go ahead and set up our shopping cart and our payments. Now, you don't need to set up your payment provider immediately. A lot of the times it's best to get your website looking good, getting your products and your pricing all loaded up the way you want. And then before you actually launch your website, that's when you'll want to make sure you have a payment provider set up. We integrate pretty much with all payment providers. Some of the popular ones are Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, and Square. But typically we can integrate with almost any payment provider. So let's go ahead and click on that. And this is going to open up a setup wizard. So this is going to go through several screens where you'll just fill out all of the information. So you'll start with your address, and then you'll go to your payment settings, your shipping settings, and then you'll pretty much be ready. Just for the sake of expediency, I'm not going to make you watch me fill this whole thing out. So I'm just going to click Not Right Now. And then we'll move on to this third button. This is where you're going to set your print pricing and your printing settings. So I'm going to click on this, and this is going to take you to the Web2ink section. So when you sign up, you will automatically be given a client ID and an API key. So you don't really have to do anything on this first page here. But what you're going to want to do is go through each of these pages and fill out all the information. We'll take a quick look at them in this tutorial, but we also have separate tutorials for each one of these tabs here so that you'll know exactly how all of it works. So on this first tab, Page Setup, you're not going to have to worry about anything up here. All of this is going to automatically be done for you. What you are going to want to take a look at is down here. These are the file types that you're going to let your customers upload to your website in the design tool when they're creating a shirt or creating business cards or creating a poster or a banner. Then right here is your maximum uploaded file size. So if you're a screen printer, 32 megs is probably plenty, but if you're a large format sign shop, you might want to bump this up to 150. Let's see, right down here, you're going to put in your company's physical address and re-upload a copy of your logo. This will make sure that your logo appears on all of your invoices and worksheets. So let's move on right quick, and we'll go to Print Process. So this section is where you're going to build out and create your print pricing. So when you get your website, there's not going to be any print processes in here. But what you can do is you can create them. You can just type it in here, call it screen printing. You can put in a description of screen printing. This is handy. The description is handy because if you have a product with multiple print processes, say you have a polo shirt that you offer screen printing and embroidery on. When your customers are placing their order or they're navigating through your website, and when they open this product in the design tool, they'll be able to see this description, and it's going to help them decide whether or not screen printing or embroidery is right for their project. Right here, you're going to put your number of ink colors. So in this section, I would put in the number of ink colors you can confidently print on dark colored garments. So say if you have a 10 color press, you might put in 8 colors here because you might need a flash station and maybe a cool down station. And then from there, you're going to go down here and build out your price list. I'm not going to get too into this right now because there's a whole tutorial just on this, but basically you're going to add some rows here. You're going to put in your quantity price breaks. 177, 144. This right here pretty much represents your screen charge. These are any per design charges or per design side charges, and these are any flat charges. This first section of 3 columns are all one-time charges. This middle section where it says charges per each piece, these are your per piece prices. So for screen printing, for example, you can have a charge for your first color and then a charge for each additional color, or you can charge per color and just build out a fully custom pricing grid. But I could go on about this part of the website for quite a while, but let's move on to order production. So the order production is basically going to be where you set how long it takes you to do your orders, how long it takes you to print and ship your orders, and then you set up the different productions that your customers can choose from. For example, like a standard production or a rush production or a 3-day production. So let's say your basic standard orders are a 10-day production. In this section here, you can put in the dates for any days of the year that you are closed, and those days will be excluded from your production days. The same goes for Saturday and Sunday. If you don't count those as production days, you can leave these boxes checked. And then you can put in your starting and closing time. Now this isn't necessarily the time that your business opens and closes, but it's the hours that you process orders. So say if you're open from 9 to 5, but you only actually process orders from 9 to 2 o'clock, you might put in 0900 and then 1400 to represent 2 o'clock. These need to be done in 24-hour time format. And I'll go ahead and update that. So now you've kind of created what your standard production time is and how those days are counted. So now we're going to click on Create New Order Production. And right in here, we're going to say standard. That's going to be our standard. And we're going to put in a description. So we're going to say ships within 10 business days. The price is going to be 0. The days will be 10. And the sorting will be 1. The way the sorting works is this is the order that your customers will see it when they're checking out. So they'll see standard first, then rush, and then if you have something beyond rush, they'll see that after the rush. So we've just created our standard production. I'm just going to go ahead and make another one. So it'll take you back to that page. I'm going to click on Create New Order Production again. I'm going to type in rush. And I'm going to say ships within 5 business days. The price I'm going to say is 25. And right here, price type, you can choose a one-time charge, a additional charge per item, or a percentage of the shopping cart. 95% of the time people do their rush charges as a percentage. So we'll say 5 days, and sorting, this is going to be 2. I'll click on submit. And that is pretty much it. We've just set up our productions. So let's go to order status. So these are the statuses of your orders. Your customers will be able to see their order status when they log into their account, and the color coding and these order statuses will also show up in your production calendar. So all of the ones that are here by default have to stay here and they cannot be removed. These are directly correlated to processing e-commerce payments. So you definitely need to have all of these, but if you have a certain workflow in your shop and you like to have a different status, you can add additional statuses. So I'm going to click on create a new order status, and I'm just simply going to type it in here, waiting on proof approval. I'm going to click on submit, and we'll go back to that page. You can see right down here, waiting on proof approval. You don't really have to worry about the ordering, but you'll definitely want to set some color codes. So typically the way that this works the best is if you choose either a light or dark background with the opposite type of text on it. So if you have a light color background, you'll want to have dark text, or if you have a dark background, you'll want to have light text. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go to user discounts. This is going to be a section where you're going to create different pricing tiers. So say for example you have retail customers, which would be probably your first time buyers or your smaller spenders. And then you might have wholesale customers, or you might have contract customers. This is where you can create different pricing tiers, and then you can individually assign customers to certain pricing tiers. So I might want to say retail, or actually I wouldn't even need to do retail, that would be default. So I might say wholesale, wholesale. And I'm going to say for wholesale, I'm going to give them a 10% discount on the product pricing and a 20% discount on the print pricing. And then you'll have to assign a print process, which you create right here, but I showed you how to do it, but we didn't actually create any print processes. But once you do that, you'll be able to choose which print process you want this discount to apply to. And then if you want, you can say this group is always getting free shipping, or this group is tax exempt, or the minimums do not apply to this group. So once you set this up, just click submit, and you're able to make as many pricing tiers or price groups as you want. And you can assign as many customers to a pricing group as you want, or you can even make a pricing group for one individual customer. All right, let's see. We'll move on to price quotes. Okay, this page is a little bit more complex, and we have an entire maybe 15 or 20 minute tutorial on exactly how this works. But on your website, people are going to be able to get custom pricing on every single product page. So if someone's browsing around for banners or business cards or shirts or polos, they'll be able to get pricing for that product on every single page, on every single product page. But we also have a tool where your customers can just click get an instant price and then quickly browse through the catalog and get a price on a specific item without having to navigate to that particular product page. And this price quoting tool is really powerful. It will save the quotes as PDFs. It will email them to your customers. It will allow your customers to email the quotes back to you with any questions. So definitely check out the tutorial on this price quote section. It's very powerful. A lot of shops that use our platform do all of their price quotes through this functionality, and it's a huge time saver. Custom stores. So if you signed up for a base plan or an elite plan, you are going to be able to offer custom web stores to your customers. This page right here is pretty much for setting the permissions for your stores. And again, there's a whole tutorial just on this, but pretty much you're going to go through here and decide exactly how you want your stores to function. So who is able to open, or well, of course you're going to enable the stores, but who can open a store? You can have it so that anybody can open a store. You can have it so that only you as the admins can open a store, or you can have it so that anybody can open a store, but if you check this box, then the admin will have to approve that store before your customer can add products and customize their store. We of course have profit sharing. So if you have a store for an organization and you want to give them a commission or some profit or some sort of a kickback, our system will handle all of that for you. And this section is just where you're going to decide exactly how you're going to handle those profits. Store item pricing. This will disable the minimums on the stores. Right here you can set a custom pricing or a custom print process to assign custom pricing to your store items. And then this right here is just some additional markup or additional markdown that you can apply to store pricing. So this will let you kind of fine-tune your store pricing. You could say, I want to lower it by 1.5%, or I want to raise the price by 2.25%. It just gives you some added flexibility. The marketplace, I would leave all of these checked as well as all of these checked. But the marketplace is a pretty cool feature. Most print shops don't utilize it, but we do have a tutorial that better explains it. Basically, the marketplace will let your site visitors shop the stores that other users have created or stores that you've created for other users. So once you've got this all filled out how you want, you're just going to click on Submit. And now we're going to move over to import products from Web2ink server. So we keep a repository of thousands and thousands of products on our server. So these will be apparel products, large format products, and your traditional commercial print paper products. We keep those on our server so that you can quickly import them and quickly set up more of your standardized type products. But of course, you'll also be able to upload and create your own completely custom products. Okay, so this is all loaded. This connects directly to our main server. Our main server works in conjunction with your website in order for you to import products, and then we also manage and host all of our clients' websites' design images. So when people are designing items on the website, whether or not they purchase them or not, all of those images and designs are saved, and we host those images on our server, because if we didn't, all of the website servers would be bottoming out in no time, because a lot of the times people upload really large files, and that can really have a major damper on server performance, bandwidth, and just the disk space used. So right here, sorry to go off on that tangent, but this is where you're going to import products. Right here, you're going to put in your markup price. So this is typically only used for the apparel products. Excuse me. So All of our prices are case prices from the distributors like Sanmar, SNS, Alpha Broder. But say you want to mark them all up 25%, you can just put that in there and click Save. And then the rest of this is fairly easy to navigate. This is where you can select by a category. But what most people typically do is they'll choose a vendor, or they'll choose a brand, or they'll go in here and they'll put in specific search terms and SKUs. What I recommend is importing products based on what category they're going to be assigned to on your website. So say if you have a men's t-shirt category, I would import a bunch of men's t-shirts and then assign them to the category. Then maybe a bunch of youth t-shirts, a bunch of ladies t-shirts, a bunch of hoodies. Try to import stuff based on what category it's going to end up in. It just makes sorting your products and categorizing everything a little bit easier and quicker. Okay, so now that we've gone through all these, let's just go right back to the dashboard, and we'll move on to the next section. And the next section is import products to get started. So that's the page we were just on. We do have a full tutorial on exactly how this works, so make sure to check that out. But let's go back to the dashboard again. So we've looked at these top four. This last one is set up your custom domain name. So when you sign up for our platform, you're going to have a domain that is web2ink.com / Steve's Print Shop. So that's a temporary domain. That's like what we call like the development domain, where you're going to build out your website, but then whenever you're ready to launch it, you're going to come here. This is basically your account page, and you're just going to type in your custom domain right here, and then you would go to your domain hosting company or whoever you bought your domain with, like GoDaddy or domain.com or Network Solutions, and you would point your domain to this IP address. And then there's also another layer that you can do, and that is to point your CNAME of your domain to the CNAME of our server, which is right here. And then of course there's a little link right here with a tutorial that will show you how to do this, but basically you put in your custom domain, stevesprintshop.com, and then you would point your domain's A record to this IP address. It's very simple. If you have any issues doing it, I would just call your domain host or the person you bought the domain from, and they'll guide you through it. It will literally take 2 minutes. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so now we've gone through these 5 buttons and the initial setup of your website. Right here, this is going to be a link to all of our other tutorial videos. There's over 20 other tutorials. They'll show you how to manage your pricing, your products, how to create new pages, how to update the look and feel of your site. It'll really cover the whole gamut of customizing your website. And then right here, this is a link to our setup services. So the Web2ink DIY plan is really kind of a do-it-yourself platform, but we offer help when it comes to certain types of getting your site set up. So setting up your card, uploading your logo, adding custom pages, all kinds of different services. So if you're having any difficulty or you don't really feel like doing this on your own, you can click this button and check out the different types of setup services that we have. So that'll take you to a page that looks like this. Then right here you can just choose from the options. So we have screen share training sessions, configuring your shopping cart and payment gateway, integrating your site with QuickBooks, integrating your site with UPS, the post office, ShipStation, or any other kind of a shipping service, setting up your logo, your hero images, and your site colors. And then if you wanted, you could select all 5 services and we would do all of that for you. So let me jump back to the admin right quick. Alright, we are back in the admin now, and there's just a couple more things I'm going to show you in this video, and then what would be a good idea is check out this button that we have right here, this link. This is going to take you to our video tutorial page, and we'll check that out right quick. So what you're going to want to do is definitely watch these top 2 videos. These are more so on setting up your website and getting the pages the way that you want. These links up here are going to take you to YouTube, where there's thousands of tutorials that will apply to creating your website. And then if you scroll down a little bit, right below here there's about 20 more tutorial videos, and these all pertain to managing your print pricing, managing your web to print stores, creating different types of products, basically everything having to do with the customization and selling custom print. So let's go back to the dashboard and we'll wrap this up. I'm going to show you just a couple of other quick little tips to help you get started. Alright, here we go. So one thing you'll notice when you log into your website is there's going to be this message here that says license mismatch. This is for the Elementor Pro page builder. So this is the tool that you're going to be using to build your website. You have Elementor installed, and you have the Pro version installed, but it is just not activated. The Pro version is not activated, the standard version is. So you can use Elementor just fine, but when you do go from your free trial to your paid subscription, we will activate Elementor Pro and you'll have access to all the features. So one other quick thing I was going to show you is if you go to your navigation menu here on the left and go down to Appearance, there's going to be a link here that says Starter Templates. So if you pick a template when you sign up for the plan and you want to adjust it, or you just want to go a whole totally different route, click on this Starter Templates page, and this is going to have about 100 or so website templates, fully made websites, home pages, about us pages, contact pages. You can use these templates to get your website started. Swap out the text, the images, put your logo in there. The ones that say agency, those are premium. So when you go from your trial subscription to your paid subscription, we will activate all of these. So if you go to one that doesn't say agency, like this right here, you can just click Import Complete Site, or you can click Import Homepage Template. But when you activate your paid plan, at the end of your trial, we'll activate it so that you have access to all of the templates. So that is pretty much it for our Getting Started tutorial. Definitely make sure to check out our tutorials page. and click on that link right here to view all tutorials. And of course, if you guys run into any issues or have any questions, feel free to email or call us. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.